Good day, everyone. I want to quickly show you how you can easily solve this question. Now, we have to simplify 16 open brackets 16 over 81 close brackets everything raised to the power of minus 3 over 4. Now, if you want to simplify this, one thing that you need to take note is that this question has a power. And this is not just a power, but a negative power. As you can see, minus 3 over 4. Now, as one of the laws of indices states that whenever you have a negative power, that minus is going to turn to 1 over. What am I saying? I'm saying that it is going to be 1 over 1 over, of course, this minus is 1 over. Then I'm going to rewrite all the questions again. So that is going to be 16 over 81, everything raised to the power of 3 over 4. Now, where did the minus go? Where did the minus go? Of course, the minus has been used to write 1 over. But instead of this, I just want to do it in another way. You understand? I want to do it in another way. I don't want to do it this way. What if you don't want to do it that way? Now, what you're going to do now is that whenever you see that your power is actually having a minus, you understand, and you want to simplify this. So what you're going to do is that now let's do it like this. What you're going to do is that it's going to be equals to, you see this minus, this power that is a minus. Now we are going to use it to turn this fraction upside down. So instead of writing 16 over 81, you're going to write 81 over 16. So I'm going to write now, I'm going to write 81 all over 16. Now everything to the power of 3 over 4. Now notice that I have removed the minus, that is the negative power. What did I use? Where did it go? Of course, I have used that minus to turn this base upside down. Of course, the base is actually 16 over 81. So I've used the minus to turn this 16 over 81 to what? 81 over 16. And don't write the minus again, please. After you have used the minus to turn this fraction upside down, please don't forget to remove the minus, because you actually use that minus to turn the fraction upside down. I hope you understand that. Now, I haven't done that. Now, before we continue, I will briefly show you this. Don't forget that 81, like this. If I break down 81, of course, the first number I'm going to use to divide 81 is actually 3, because 2 cannot go, since the last number here ending this 81 is an odd number, so 2 cannot go in odd number. So of course it is 3 that can divide 81, and we all know that. So I'm going to say 3, that's going to be 2, and it remains 2, so I'm going to put it here. That's 21. 3 in 21 is 7, so that's 27, right? If I use 3 again, 3 in 27 is going to be 9. 3 times 9, 27. So if I use 3 again, because I know it's going to give me 3, if I use 3 again, it's going to give me what? Of course, going to give me 1. So that means 81 can be rewritten as 3 in how many places? 4 places. That's 3 raised to the power of 4. So meaning that 81 is actually 3 raised to the power of 4. The same thing goes for 16. Of course, 2 can go in 16. So that means 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 1. So that means 16 is actually going to be 2 raised to the power of what? 2 raised to the power of 4. So now, what are we going to do now? So instead of 81, I'm going to rewrite it as uh, 3 raised to the power of 4, and instead of 16, I'm going to rewrite it as 2 raised to the power of 4. That is called breaking down. I always say that indices, question on indices, most times is indices is about breaking down, breaking down. So now I'm going to rewrite this question now. So I'm going to rewrite this, and this is going to give me what? Like I said, I'm going instead of 81, I'm going to rewrite it as 3 raised to the power of what? 4 all over 16. I'm going to rewrite 16 as 2 raised to the power of what? 2 raised to the power of 4. Then I'm going to close the bracket. And what am I going to do now? Well, my power must be there, so I have to put the power again, 3 over 4. Now, what is the next thing? Now, before I write the next thing, I'm going to show you something. Remember this law of indices. That is when you have, if you have x raised to the power of m bracket n outside. So, well, this is a power or say index. This is another power or say index. You understand? So, this law, we do call it law of multiplication of power. So this simply means we are going to multiply this power together. You understand? So now what we are going to do here, what this law means is that you're going to say x raised to the power of m times n. An example of that is if you have maybe 5 raised to the power of 2, everything raised to the power of 3 outside. So that's going to be 5 raised to the power of 2 times 3. So that's exactly what we are saying. So now, but the fact is, your denominator can be a fraction. Your base, rather, what you have here, whatever you have in the bracket can be a fraction. Whatever you have inside can be a fraction, can be anything. You only know when to apply that law, know when to apply this law. So what I'm saying now is that, so let me clean this. So what I'm saying now is that this 3 raised to the power of 4, this power of this 3 raised to the power of 4, we are going to use its power, which is 4, to multiply 3 over 4. So what this means is that you're going to say 3 raised to the power of 4 multiply, because we are going to multiply this power of what we have inside with what the power that is outside. So that's going to be 3 raised to the power of 4 times what? 3 over 4. Then divided by, you can see we have a denominator here. So it's also going to be 2 raised to the power of 4. It's also going to be 2 raised to the power of 4 times the power outside. So each of them will multiply the power that is outside. So the power that is outside we apply to the numerator is also going to be it's also going to apply to the denominator. So that's going to be times what? Times 3 over 4. So, well, we know that this 4 as a denominator, we cancel this 4 here, also, and also denominator, we have the 4 down. This 4 here is also going to cancel this 4 here. So what we are going to have left is actually going to be what? It's actually going to be 3 raised to the power of 3 divided by 2 raised to the power of what? 2 raised to the power of 3. Well, this is going to give us, at the end of the day, this is going to give us 3 raised to the power of 3. Don't forget, 3 raised to the power of 3 is not 3 times 3. It is actually 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 is going to give us what? 27. Because 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So, of course, we should know that 3 raised to the power of 3 is 27 over 2 raised to the power of 3 is going to give us what? 8. So, and this is the solution to this question. So if you decide to solve it the other way around, that is when you say this minus is actually going to be 1 over, then you rewrite everything raised to the power of 3 over 4, you're still going to get the same answer. Thank you.